This is Mindfulness with Richard. This series focuses on mindfulness meditation. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. Welcome. I'm Richard Clarke, hosting this meditation, and let me get something on screen and then start with my talk for today. Silence is often seen as a profound and transformative aspect of mindfulness meditation. Finding moments of stillness and silence can be incredibly rejuvenating and deeply beneficial for our overall well-being. Today, I will explore the significance of silence in mindfulness meditation and how it can enhance your practice.
Do you want to do the meditation or do you want to listen to the music?
Silence provides us with an opportunity to disconnect from the constant external stimuli and distractions that surround us. It allows us to turn inward, to observe our thoughts and emotions with greater clarity, and cultivate a sense of deep presence. By intentionally withdrawing from the external world and embracing silence, we create a sacred space within ourselves where true growth and transformation can occur. It is from silence that the deepest self-knowledge and realizations arise. When the noise of your mind quiets, you can start to see what is beyond this noise of your mind. One of the fundamental aspects of mindfulness is the practice of non-judgmental awareness. Through silence, we can develop a heightened sense of non-reactivity, allowing our thoughts and emotions to arise and pass without attaching any judgment or significance to them. By observing the arising and passing of our experiences in silence, we learn to cultivate a sense of detachment, recognizing that we are not defined by our thoughts and emotions. Silence becomes the canvas on which we paint the picture of our inner landscape, observing it with a sense of curiosity and acceptance. Silence also provides an opportunity to deepen our connection with the present moment. When we allow ourselves to be fully present in the silence, we become aware of the subtleties and nuances of our experiences that might otherwise go unnoticed. The sounds of our breath, the sensation in our bodies, and the thoughts that arise and dissolve. They all become more vivid and alive in the embrace of silence. By anchoring our awareness in the present moment through silence, we cultivate a deep sense of mindfulness and an ability to fully engage with life as it unfolds. Moreover, silence serves as a gateway to self-discovery and inner wisdom. When we quiet the mind and allow the mental chatter to settle, we create a space for our intuitive knowing to emerge. In the depths of silence, we tap into the wellspring of wisdom and insight that lies within us. We gain access to a source of guidance that transcends the limitations of our conceptual thinking and connects us with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In this silence, we access our true nature and experience a profound sense of interconnectedness and wholeness. Silence in mindfulness meditation also fosters a sense of tranquility and calmness. As we embrace the stillness within ourselves, we invite a deep sense of relaxation and peace to permeate our being. This inner calm becomes a refuge from the stress and busyness of daily life, and it allows us to recharge and replenish our energy. Through silence, we create a sanctuary where we can rest and rejuvenate, restoring balance to our body, mind, and spirit. In addition to its personal benefits, silence also has a transformative effect on our relationships with others. When we learn to cultivate silence within ourselves, we develop the capacity to truly listen and be fully present for others. In the space of silence, we create an opening for deeper communication and understanding. By embracing silence in our interaction, we can transcend the limitation of words and cultivate a profound sense of empathy and compassion. To fully harness the power of silence in mindfulness meditation, it's important to establish a regular practice. Carving out a dedicated time for silence meditation allows us to cultivate a deep relationship with silence and integrate its benefits into our daily life. Whether it's a few minutes each day or longer periods of silent retreat, consistency in our practice is key. Gradually, we find that the silence we are cultivating during meditation begins to permeate all aspects of our lives, becoming a constant companion and source of inner strength. Silence holds tremendous transformative power in mindfulness meditation, especially for experienced practitioners. By embracing silence, we create space for self-discovery, deep presence, and inner wisdom. It allows us to reconnect with the present moment, find tranquility, and foster meaningful connections with others. As we delve into the depths of silence, we unveil the boundless potential that resides within us, paving the way for personal growth, healing, and a profound sense of well-being. So now this is the time when I ask you how you are doing with your practice. And Joyce, I'd actually like to start with you. So you can tell us a little bit about your background with meditation and what you would like to get from this group.
I have to unmute myself first. So if meditation, of course, when I was in Evelyn's group, a big part of it was meditation. And that was very meaningful to me. It took me a while to get to meditation. The first time I went, I remember in New Mexico to a Buddhist group, I thought I was going to go crazy from 45 minutes of meditation. And I discovered it's something you have to work up to. But I often find myself meditating while doing something physically, whether it's walking or
Yes.
exercise of some kind. But I do also find meaning in together with groups such as this, because there's some community that we, although we're each meditating individually, we can encourage each other in it and help each other with ways to come into ourselves and to be at peace. And so that's one of the things I'm looking for from the group is a group of people with whom I can do that. Which I haven't really had a group since COVID, because in Panama things sort of went a little crazy. So I'm looking forward to that in this group.
Well, very good. I feel like that is something that we do. And, having a group to support each other's practice and growth is a real worthwhile thing, as you know from your own experience. So, welcome, Joyce. Now, how about Christine? How was your meditation last week? You're kind of getting back on the wagon, and were you able to meditate during the week?
Yes, I had two specific meditation times, but I'm facing a number of physical challenges, and I'm confined to my bed. So I have many moments of meditation, but I want to expand that into longer periods of time. Part of why I was very grateful to find this group is because I found, with all the trauma in my life over the last 2 years, that I had lost my ability to concentrate and focus during my meditation time. And the monkey mind drove me out of even trying.
Right.
And so last week was the beginning of, okay, I'm going to try this again and try to get a handle on that monkey mind.
Well, certainly your periods of concentration and focus are going to increase as you continue to practice. And one of the things that I have found about the meditation for myself is somehow, even in the midst of all the troubles that we have, the kind of there's a kind of internal peace and happiness that I'm just able to carry with me. And I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot. Also, Joyce, I want to say to you about moving meditation, the way I actually got started with mindfulness more than 35 years ago was with walking and walking meditation that at that time I was doing because I was in the middle of a marriage that was falling apart, and I desperately needed ways to process that stuff and find some peace. And I didn't realize it at the time, but very quickly the walking turned into walking meditation because I would just clear my mind and process and the stuff that was going on, I was able to hold much easier in my heart. And it really started me on a path where now I've had a consistent meditation practice for more than the last 35 years. And I can't imagine life without it. Anyway, Barley, how have you been?
I know it's been a long time, but I have taken to heart your last presentation about meditating in the morning, finding a little spot. So I've completely redone my morning, which was coffee and the news. So now I'm having a cup of tea and then meditating in a new little area. And it's working so far. It's the dog and the cat want to kind of pester me because I'm using their old dog bed. But
But also, you say in a new area where you have kind of a dedicated regular place.
yes, and yeah, I've got that nice memory foam dog bed and then a little meditation cushion. And then I think I'm going to have a meditation table built. That'll take me a while, but I can, my eyes are closed anyway, but I think it's kind of cool how people have meditation tables and little objects on them.
Right. Well, there are things like that you can do with the space that if nothing else, they just remind you why you're there.
Yes. Yeah.
So great. For you, I'm really pleased that you've now got a regular morning practice. I know that that's been something that you've been kind of struggling with for at least the last year. So congratulations.
Okay. Well, thanks to you, or thanks to the meditation that you found.
Anyway, very good. How about you, Richard?
It is going so well that I hate coming out of it, but there's nothing you can do about it at this point. I did go to the dentist on Monday, and as they were working on the teeth, they said, "Oh, you're going to have some sensitive pain in this area." And I just went in to meditate, and pain was much less. So
very good.
Meditation is a blessing.
Yes. Now I used meditation practice at my dentist's office as a way kind of to test how I was doing with my ability to focus and stuff like that. And when I told my dentist about it, he just laughed. But
maybe you'll make them curious.
That's right. Anyway, it was good. And if you can meditate while they're drilling on your teeth, then I think that's really good concentration.
Yeah. It'll really turn in. Yes.
How about you, Carol?
Well, we had, as some of you guys know, we had a lapse of a few weeks, and I think we're getting back into it now, and it's good. It's good to get back into it.
Okay, very good. Anyway, it sounds to me like this is a good period for all of you. So that's wonderful. So here, let's meditate then. How about that? Mindfulness is present moment awareness, paying attention, on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Fully receive whatever is experienced, then let it go. And pay particular attention to the feel of your breath. The feel of your breath as it comes in and as it goes out. And if your mind starts to wander, just notice it and give yourself a little credit for noticing it. Then return to watching the feel of your breath. All right. And now we have a video about the power of silence.
Once upon a time in ancient Japan, there was a young disciple named Kiyoshi who was eager to learn the ways of Zen. He was a diligent student, practicing his meditation and studying the sutras. But he still felt that he lacked a deeper understanding of the true essence of Zen. Hearing about a wise Zen master named Hoshin who lived on a remote mountain, Kiyoshi decided to embark on a journey to seek the master's guidance and wisdom. After a long and arduous journey through the dense forests and steep mountain paths, Kiyoshi finally arrived at Hoshin's humble abode. The master was known to be a man of few words, but possessed immense wisdom that was highly sought after by those on a path of spiritual enlightenment. Kiyoshi respectfully bowed before the Zen master and expressed his desire to learn the meaning of Zen. The wise old master looked deeply into the young disciple's eyes and remained silent for a while, as if weighing the sincerity of his request. As Kiyoshi grew more anxious, the master finally picked up a stone and struck it against the ground. The stone produced a sharp, clear sound that echoed through the surrounding mountains. Hoshin then asked Kiyoshi, "Do you hear the sound of the stone?" The young disciple, puzzled but intrigued, replied that he did indeed hear the sound. The Zen master then asked Kiyoshi, "Now listen to the sound of silence." Kiyoshi, determined to understand the lesson, focused his attention on the silence that followed the sound. At first, it seemed like an impossible task. His mind was filled with thoughts and distractions, but he persisted, trying to become more aware of the silence between the sounds. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Kiyoshi continued to meditate on the sound of silence under the guidance of Master Hoshin. The young disciple started to notice subtle changes within himself. His mind began to quieten, and his awareness of the world around him heightened. Kiyoshi discovered that silence was not merely the absence of sound, but rather a profound presence that had the power to reveal hidden truths. One day, while meditating by the river, Kiyoshi became aware of the gentle sound of the water flowing over the rocks. He listened intently to the symphony of nature, and in the spaces between the notes, he heard the sound of silence. It was as if the entire universe was whispering its wisdom to him, and he felt a deep sense of peace and tranquility. Kiyoshi continued to train with Master Hoshin, learning to embrace the power of silence in every aspect of his life. He found that when he truly listened, the silence would guide him, offering insights and clarity that he could not find elsewhere. As the years passed, Kiyoshi's reputation as a wise and compassionate teacher began to spread throughout the land. People from all walks of life came to seek his counsel and guidance. He would often share the story of his own journey to enlightenment and the power of silence that had transformed his life. One day, a wealthy merchant named Kenji arrived at Kiyoshi's doorstep, seeking help in resolving a dispute between his two sons. The brothers had grown distant and resentful towards each other due to a disagreement over the family business. Kiyoshi invited the merchant and his sons to join him in meditation by the river. As they sat in silence, the sound of the flowing water, the gentle rustling of leaves in the wind filled the air. The brothers, initially resistant to the idea of meditation, gradually began to relax and open themselves to the experience. After some time, Kiyoshi asked them to share their thoughts and feelings. To their surprise, both brothers found that the silence had given them a new perspective on their disagreement. As they listened to each other's words, they realized that their conflict was rooted in misunderstandings and unspoken expectations. Silence had allowed them to see beyond their emotions and hear the truth in each other's hearts. Kenji, witnessing the transformation in his sons, was deeply moved and grateful to Kiyoshi. He asked the wise teacher how he could repay him for his guidance. Kiyoshi simply smiled and said, "Continue to practice the power of silence and share this gift with others." The merchant and his sons returned to their village, forever changed by their encounter with Kiyoshi and the power of silence. They learned to cultivate a deeper understanding of themselves and others, and their relationships flourished as a result. As for Kiyoshi, he continued to teach and guide countless seekers on their path to spiritual enlightenment. He never tired of sharing the transformative power of silence and the profound wisdom it could reveal. Years later, as Kiyoshi lay on his deathbed, his disciples gathered around him, seeking one final lesson from their beloved master. With a weak yet peaceful smile, Kiyoshi whispered, "Listen to the sound of silence, and you will hear the wisdom of the universe." And with that, the great teacher closed his eyes and breathed his last, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and compassion that would inspire generations to come. The story of Kiyoshi and the power of silence serves as a reminder that true wisdom and understanding can often be found in the spaces between the noise and distractions of our daily lives. By embracing the power of silence, we open ourselves to the possibility of growth, transformation, and a deeper connection to the world around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the power of silence. We hope that this story has inspired you to find moments of stillness in your own life, to explore the wisdom that lies within. If you enjoyed this tale, please consider subscribing to Taller Tales and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your insights and any stories you'd like us to bring to life next. Until next time, be well.
All right. And now we will have another period of meditation. Take a few moments to become fully present. Take in everything presented by your senses. Be present here and now. Disregard thoughts that don't have to do with the present moment. And just notice the feel of your breath as it goes in and out. And if thoughts arise, just notice you don't have to finish the thought, just return to the feel of your breathing. All right. And let's close with a short chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. All right. Now, Joyce and Christine, there's something I wanted to talk to you about particularly, and that is when I give instructions for the mindful breath watching, I tell you to notice the feel of your breath. And what that is about is scientists discovered that there's a part of the mind that is active pretty much all of the time. It's what the Buddhists call the monkey mind. The scientists call it the default network. And it turns out that paying attention to sensory experiences pulls your attention away from the default network and it shuts up. And one of the reasons why people experience peace during meditation is when the default mind shuts up, it's like you're on vacation. And the same thing happens when you're walking. If you're noticing the feel of your body when you're walking, the same thing happens. I know you've experienced that too, Barley.
Not as much as I'd like, but I'm working on it.
And anyway, so now if you have any questions or comments, this is a time we can talk about it. I've learned there are 3 different kinds of questions that people can ask. One is something that they've been thinking about kind of before the thing started. The second kind of question is one that comes up listening to the stuff that I'm talking about. And the third kind of question, the best kind of question, is one that comes up when you're meditating. No questions, discussion? I know it's hard to talk about silence.
Well, I hear the birds chirping during my silent meditation, but that's part of nature, I suppose, like the rock. So,
Right.
And then I hear the truck traffic up on the highway.
Right.
But I guess that's all part of sort of pseudoscience and silence. Hard to find someplace where there's no sound.
Well, the best silence comes from within yourself.
Okay.
Not from the outside. So the deepest silence is just from within when you're not reacting to any of those stimuli.
Okay.
Some of us have it ringing in our ears all the time, and that is difficult because it's never really silent.
Oh, I didn't know you had that, Carol. Oh, that's
Yeah. So
or something.
yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh,
But it's like, I mean, I do mostly ignore it, but
good.
And in your case, Barley, when in between the bird calls, there is silence.
Yes.
Something that's been driving me, making it difficult to be silent this afternoon is I have a little fly going around my head.
Oh, I know.
Disturbs
I
the
have
silence.
I have a fly swatter for that same reason.
Which does tell you something, because the little tiny sound of that fly can be a bigger detractor from your meditation than the traffic that you hear behind
Yeah.
you.
Uh-huh. Well, the fly's going to land on you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, very good. It's good to see you all, and feels like it was a good session to me.
Mhm.
Thank you
Well,
And-
very
I'm gonna
much.
watch you at UU on Sunday, or I'm gonna be there.
All
And
right.
Is it related to our meditation? I can't quite remember.
Well,
Sorta.
it all depends on your viewpoint.
Okay.
And, I think it is intimately related to the meditation. And from some of the stuff that I've been doing with Richard, the key to it is just noticing that you exist.
Mm.
It turns out that's pretty meditative. And you exist, and you know that you exist. You don't have to think about it or feel it with your senses. So it's not from the mind or your senses, but you just know.
Because you're breathing.
Even you know this, even it's inside, if you will, even of your breath. This knowledge is closer than your breath
Oh,
and closer than your thoughts.
that's deep.
So anyway, it's a more advanced practice.
Yeah.
And when I talk about it, Richard smiles. Anyway, so I look forward to either seeing you in person Sunday or via Zoom. And I think you'll get something from it. And again, this was a good session today. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week. And have good meditations.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Richard.
All right. You want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation.